Hello and a warm welcome back to another episode of the Wendercast, your MFL podcast about all things concerning the Metaverse Football League. As always, we're your hosts, Jimbo and Calvinator, and together we're going to discuss latest MFL updates, transfers, developments, and this week, everything about Season 0.4. It's been an entertaining week of leagues, so we're going to be talking about that, so get ready for that. One important note before we dive into everything this episode: none of what we chat about is financial advice. Never take us seriously anyway. Do your own scouting or hire a director at Metaverse Football. Calvinator, mate, how you doing? You all right?
Yes, doing great. Looking forward to another episode. So as you said, we're just going to talk about Season 0.4, a little recap about our own teams, a bit in general. No guests this week, but it's also, I think, fun to sometimes just have a good convo, like us together.
Yeah, nice heart-to-heart with each other.
Yeah, hanging out. Speaking about guests, I saw on Twitter you posted a little Google form, right?
Mm-hmm.
That people can fill out.
Yeah, we posted a Google form, which is on our Twitter, and I think we probably posted Discord as well. See if people want to, I guess, say they want to come on the show without having to sort of announce they're coming on the show, sort of thing. I think also what we'll probably do, I'd like to do, is also tweet out, you might even see it by the time you listen to this podcast tomorrow, saying who would you like to see on the podcast? Not
smart one.
Do you want to be on the podcast? Who do you want to see on the podcast? And then we can do the little legwork. But yeah, if you ever do feel like coming on the podcast, you want to talk about either your MFL journey, maybe you've got some merch or something, you're linked in with that side of sort of Web3 and NFT projects, or if you're making a tool, for example, like Ali's tool or Alexis tool, things like that, and you want to come and talk about them, or really just have a rant, or you want to just talk about chocolate bars and vegetables, or you want to hear a live rendition of Splash of the Week, get yourself on the podcast, let us know, and we'll have you on.
Yeah, no matter what the reason is, just join us if you want. I like that, actually. Yeah, so we see who do our listeners want to hear on the pod. That's a nice one.
We need some realistic suggestions, not like, Joe Biden or someone like that. We need some realistic. Or
that we really have to call Antoine and get Antoine on the pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. But it can be creative. Yeah. So I also think it would be fun to talk to other Web3 games or NFT projects. So maybe if you think that would be cool, let us know. Yeah. So soon, if you want to come on, or you have other people you'd like to see, let us know and we'll make it happen. Anything is possible also for us, I think.
Yes.
On the pod, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Anything's possible.
All right. Yeah. So this week, Season 0.4 recap. But first, as always, weekly updates. So our personal journey, of course, we're going to talk about it later too. But let's just focus a bit on this week. Let's say, how did
You've got one piece of housekeeping or announcements first.
Yes, the stream. Stream.
So,
Sorry.
Tuesday, the final games of the IMFF Cup, the third place games and the finals, myself and Calva will be streaming them on Twitch at Wendercast, like we've done the pack drops and previous streams. So if you want to come hang out, listen to us ramble on and do some commentary semi-professionally, amateur really, semi-amateur, not professional at all, come join us on Tuesday. I think it starts at, it's 8:30 UK, so 9:30 for CET. European folk. Yes. And if not, I'm sure Lucas will, or whoever is the MFL admin on Twitter or socials at the time, will post a little graphic, and we'll do the same on Monday and Tuesday. So if you want to come and join us on the stream, get involved. There is going to be some prizes. MFL sort of, Lucas is doing some magic in the background and figuring that out for us. But as always, lots of fun, lots of prizes, just having a good time. So be there or lose your points and get a point deduction for next season.
Yes, exactly. No, it will be really fun. I forgot indeed to tell us, but we're back for streaming.
It's been
a long time since like the last drop stream, so it'll be really fun to do some live commentary on the finals of the IMF Cup and some banter and etc. So yeah, that's happening next week, or let's say on Tuesday. Let's then talk about our past week in MFL. So Jimbo, how did you end the league?
Both teams came fourth in their respective divisions. Wyverns came fourth because of goal difference. We were joint third, which I'll take, to be fair. I wanted to get third so I could have the little the bronze trophy on the sort of near the historic standings on the profile page, but we didn't get that in the end. And then second club also came fourth with 29 points, and the Wyverns got 28 points. And Wyverns are out of the cup, but my second club, Atletico Espartails, in the semi-finals of the IMFF Cup. So we play tomorrow, or today actually, against Josset Academy. And if we win that, we'll then go to play the winner of, I think it's Duff, with his, I can't remember the name, it's one of Duff's clubs, or PNVC's club. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully I can get a trophy this season. That's what I'm praying for.
I'm really hoping that you win the semis, because then we can commentate live on your final.
Yes, exactly.
So this will be, I'm really looking forward to that. So it needs to happen. Unfortunately, I'm out of all the whole cup. I had four, not
four clubs in the knockouts, and they all got knocked.
Four clubs qualified, and then they all got knocked out like straight.
You'd think at least one would get through, right? And you just all four.
There was pretty bad luck. Like normally you have a little even upset, or you just deserve it. But now I just had like the upsets were the other way around, and the other ones I just straight lost. So
not sure whether to laugh or
didn't
cry.
end well. And then also in the Dust Cup again qualified and got knocked out straight. So it was a bit of an unlucky week there.
Oh yeah, Dust Cup for me as well. Hang on, Dust Cup for me was horrendous as well. I think I got beaten in the 89th minute of my first game. I then won the second game because it was a forfeit, and I lost the third game 4-0. So I got absolutely romped. I thought I'd have a decent chance in that cup, but I got absolutely smacked. It wasn't a good showing.
Yeah, I think it's a bit summarizes the season, but I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But I also had some good things. So let's say Aaron Calder pulled off a second place in the last
Very
match against our direct rivals, and Black Sea ended third in the end, so best of the rest after Eco City and Flovatar.
Yeah.
In my Silver League, so that's also a good push. And also Korsakov almost became champion. So, but we'll talk about it later. So I had like some good things and some bad luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk a bit more what to make of this season and how we would summarize that. Dev updates. Let me quickly take care of
magic.
that. Do my magic.
No pressure now. Yax is here.
Yeah, exactly. That was like live in front of Mr. Dev Update.
I feel like getting judged and getting watched.
But he agreed with me. He said I did a good job, so that was nice.
Yeah.
So I have confidence now. I get approval by Mr. Dev Update.
The stamp of approval from Yax.
Yes, I'm certified. Yax certified. So leagues ended, and as you have seen, points and trophies have been distributed. So your points total in your HQ should be higher for everyone. Speaking about the engine, so for next season, we're gonna have a new engine, and Quentin worked on that a lot, fix some bugs, so that's great. GC also will do some intense testing for the new engine to make everything ready for next season, and the deadline for that will be 19th of March. They have try to have everything ready by then. JC also finished the red card analysis. Long story short, red cards, the team feels, should have a little bit of a bigger impact, although it already is quite good and it kind of mimics real life. But they feel like it should have a little bit of a bigger impact. So they're going to work on that for the next engine too. Then about sharing, so probably on Twitter you've seen loads of cool graphics being shared. First, that was only the match results, but now you can also share it for signing, schedule, multiple things. So that's really cool.
Yeah, they're great.
Great, right? Product tour improvement has also been done. So new users, when you start out in the app, you get a nice product tour. I think everyone has also seen that with some of those pop-ups. And finally, which is also very exciting, is that development has started on the new homepage for the app. And the team aims to make it a bit more visually appealing, a bit more functional. So I'm really curious about that. I think you too, Jimbo, like new homepage.
Yeah. Everyone's excited by new things, right? And
yes.
I always even if they are going to improve it and they say it needs changing, I always find that any of the UI stuff they do is really good anyway, and sort of the functionality and looks. I'm excited to what this will look like.
Yeah, it must be good for sure. I think it's already pretty good UI, but yeah, it's all part of the bigger project, right? To make it also more appealing and more grow the user base, etc. So that's great news to hear. Anything else you want to share about dev updates? Or
no, so like I said, deadline the 19th of March, some of the engine piece, but that's also when the transfer window opens as well. So if you want to pick up some players now and start cancelling their contracts if they've already got players with them, or you want to just sign players in general and you're wondering, when can I sign players to my clubs? Because I can't. 19th of March is when you can start racking up those contracts, screwing them, putting them in the bin, signing them again. So get ready. But be on the ball. We can talk about this later, but be on the ball beforehand. Don't wait till 19th of March and then start doing your plans. Get ahead early.
Friendly reminder, turn off your, let's say, auto, what do you call it? Disable auto renewal.
Yeah, the auto renewal, yeah.
Because before you know it, you bought a guy and then you forgot to turn it off. And I mean, it's probably etiquette then to just release him anyway. I think most managers will do it, but it's not a guarantee. So make sure you do it. And now I can have a nice transition speaking about buying players, marketplace time. So you are Mr. Splash and I'm Mr. New Active Managers, and we have a ton of them. Like I'm really, there's like, I don't even know if I give everyone credit here, but there's so many new managers who came in this week. So it seems to, let's say the efforts to grow the user base are, let's say, successful. So that's great to see. So let me do a shout out to some people. Well, first I want to do a special shout out to XX Johan, because he pulled a legendary from a starter pack.
Unreal, right? Unreal.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know what the odds are off the top of my head, but I think it's probably the first time, especially in the starter packs, maybe in the previous packs, base packs a couple of years ago, but I've never seen a legendary pulled in a starter. And quite a decent one as well.
Yeah, and also he got sold already, so maybe I can already talk about that, although I put it a little bit in the special of the week category, but or maybe we wait for it, who bought it, and then I also have a little special intel for you about this deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, I'm looking forward to special intel. Okay, the man in the know.
I kind of played a role in this somehow.
So I feel like I've got some slight intel as well. I think they're different intels, but maybe. I don't think mine's as interesting as yours, but I've got some secret intel as well. Okay.
Let's see. Let me first do my shout out. So, Access Johan, Lucho7713, Imran, Cramborn, Miado, Speedy, Azulkas, Manuel, Swargun, and I think I still miss some people. So, really great new week for new users. Then, active managers, shout out to Make Think, who announced he bought a stone license in Verona. He already has a stone in Iron, and he said he's going to make a new under 18 team, and he bought many commons, 18-year-old or younger commons. So that's really cool. On
this Saturday and Sunday, I've just been looking at the sales button, just seeing like a wave of common players, and just look, it's Make Think, and it's he's 18 or 19,
exactly. So he's building his youth squad, his development team. Really cool. And I think Guitarero also deserves a mention here. I think he bought like 4 Legos, if I counted well, and also a couple of other high-rated rares. So he's quickly becoming mogul standard, I would say, with his agency. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool to see him buying all those guys. Trades, not that much activity. Couple of things, but not really. I
gave a few of the commons away to the birthday people.
The birthday, yes.
Yeah, the birthday people, which was quite late, but I didn't have time to do it. So I think I reacted with the emoji saying like birthday cake, Wayne Dirk, and then the gif of me, so people knew roughly what it was about, not just me giving away some. Well, I was giving away, but
so some random comments you were sending.
Yeah.
So those were the trades pretty much. I think that would summarize it. And now we have
Splash of the Week. So
Yes.
before we get into the proper splash, a quick shout out to Joe for picking up a Legendary for $550. Is this where the intel's coming in, or can I still?
Yes. I'll share. But
Let
you
me
also had Intel.
let me do the big splash, and then you can give me your intel, and I'll give you my intel as well. So we had Joe Bettman or Joe B purchasing a Lego for $550, but the wham, the mega splash of the week is from B sellers or the Ballers DAO picking up Emmerich Müller. Decent pronunciation? Emmerich Müller?
I have to look at the name. Emmerich Müller, I would say. Müller.
I sounded like I was listening to myself then.
Yeah.
I was listening to myself when you said that. Picked up a 91 rated left winger for 1,600 United States dollars. I butchered that. United States of American dollars. Huge purchase. Let me tell you my slight intel. I was having a quick peek at the Ballers DAO Discord, and I think the funding behind this, I guess I can sort of say, I think it was like from like some winnings of a bet or something B sellers had. He's like, I'm playing with the house's money. If this bet comes in, we'll buy him. And then before you know it, the purchase comes through and we're like, oh, the bet must have won. So, yeah, big.
Nice.
So, some casino money. I could be completely wrong here. If so, Ballers DAO, please just hound me and correct me, and I'll make an apology next on the stream or next episode. But I think it was from the casino house money, the free bets. So I pulled 1,600. Big bet to win that. But
very big bet. Yeah.
It's a massive splash of the week. So
very, very big. And
that was my slight intel. Let me know in your little James Bond intel. What have we got?
Well, I first want to also, like, if you look at this guy, a pretty interesting stats. He has like 95 dribbling, 92 passing, 91 pace. But then the physical is 46. So it's a bit of an Arjen Robben, I would say. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he can play every other match and then he's a bit tired or injured. But with those stats, he'll be a great player for them. Yeah. For sure. And we're going to talk later about Diamond and Ballers. Actually, we skipped that, I think. We're going to talk about...
We can come to that, yeah.
We get to that later. But yeah, it will be a great addition for Ballers. So now about my intel. Okay, so XX Johan, he pulled this Lego, right? This guy. Yeah. And then... he was also active in the German chat, and I thought, let's also jump into the German chat and just talk to him and welcome him there. I felt it would be nice to do, and I had a great chat with him. And then he sent me a message, a private message, DM, and he said, someone offered $400 for this guy. Do you think I should take this offer, or is that not good? So then I said 400 would be really like a bargain. You listed him for 550. I think that's a fair price. Just stick to it and someone will buy him. And then one day later, Joe comes in and buy him. So I prevented 400 sale. Yes, I was his financial advisor.
I was going to say, you gave him non-official financial advice. There we go. Yes. The disclaimer at the start is warranted. It's important. This is an applicable episode. Exactly.
So yeah, I just told him wait, and he only had to wait one day. But in general, it was a crazy market for Legos.
Yeah, and all of this marketplace activity has really happened over for like the last 4 days. Beginning of the week, it didn't really happen much. We also had all these new users coming in. A lot of them, I think, are from France or French users. I think there's been like a big push with obviously the translation part of the app. Yeah. Right. So there's I know quite a few. I follow them and I see them posting quite a lot about MFL. I think Baptiste52 I think is the username, or definitely on Twitter. They had like his free pack. Did you manage to open one of those mystery pack?
Yeah, I got like 40 points or something.
I got 210. I got 210. Bang. Yeah.
So it's literally becoming a champion, like in Iron.
Yeah, I basically won. I think I basically won the Iron League. Yeah. Which apart from with a pack, which I'll take that. Within 5 seconds, I'd won the division. So nice. That was great. But it's really good to see all of these new users coming in, and hopefully maybe as like Spanish translations I think has started, or other ones in different languages. we get that bigger appeal and bigger push. But that French bit has definitely worked in bringing some new users so far. I think actually you can look on the Crypto Slam website and you can look at the new packs as they're being bought. And you can track, I think the last 7 days there's been about 20 different buyers or unique buyers, which is great. So,
That's awesome.
we can keep doing that each week, even if it's 10, and that's just the, what do you call it? The starter and the club packs. So it's great to see new people joining. So, well, I feel like I might have to do a French intro as well, maybe at some point, just so they can listen for a bit. Live translation.
Yes, I had a very bad joke coming about starting a franchise, let's say, for Windows. I'm practicing my dad jokes here. Okay, enough dad jokes. Well, I think the season update we can keep for when we talk about season 0.4. Let's maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's maybe do that for our topic, our main topic, and then to finish off the update section, let's just talk a little bit about Dirk. And Dirk's 0.4. So looking at stats, Jimbo, how would we assess him? Maybe from 1 to 10, what would you give Dirk for season 0.4?
Yeah, so for all of you out there who don't look at Dirk stats, or don't look at Dirk stats every week like we do, then we are a critique of his performances. This season he played 23 games. He scored 5 goals. He assisted 8. And he got 3 yellow cards and no red cards. So now you know the information. Now I'm going to give my rating of his performance. I'm just going to quick look how his previous season was. So last season, he played a lot more games, bearing in mind 13 more games last season. But obviously there was more clubs in the Diamond League, so a few more games. He got 1 more assist last season, but he got 1 less goal last season. So it's all his contributions and decisiveness, we'll call it, assists or his goal involvements, has been equal this season. Do you know what? I'm probably just going to give him, I think 7 is too generous, but I think 6 is too harsh. Yeah. So I think maybe if we're talking about like SofaScore, there's applications that Opta Stats, whatever. Let's go with like a 6.85 out of 10 this season.
6.85. Okay.
That's very precise, but that's where I think that's a fair assessment and scoring of his performance this season. What are your thoughts?
I think it's pretty decent. So if you just look at those stats, like 23, so he's a midfielder, usually right mid, or I think mostly right mid he plays.
Yeah.
And then 5 goals, 8 assists, 23 games, not being a starter. So you have to feel for Dirk, like he doesn't know each week if he's going to start, right? Doesn't give a lot of confidence. And then still, if let's say you look at stats, 5 goals, 8 assists for a midfielder, still good contribution, I would say. So I'll give him 7.5. I'm generous.
7.5
for Dirk.
Oh, you're a generous critique. I think if we just do a bit of maths here, how many contributions? 13. He scores or assists 1 every 1.7 games, which actually, when you think about it, it's not horrendous, right? But I still feel like he just goes
could be better
adrift. And bearing in mind, 3 of those assists were in 1 game. So it's almost, maybe it's a bit of data skewing here. We're trying to make a better idea or something. But, he's improved on last year's numbers in terms of per game. So he's made an improvement. And hopefully season 0.5, if he's still at the Meta Mercenaries, and we assume he will be, then he'll become a constant starter, maybe not a part of the Ronin roulette, like the pet roulette.
Maybe he'll hand in his notice. He says, I need to be a regular. I need guarantees. Yeah. I need to start.
Maybe a new Diamond Club owner will come in and go, I'm giving him a bigger contract. And Dirk goes, do you know what, Gaffer? I've got to leave. I'm getting more bucks. You're getting more bucks, technically. I'm getting more playing time. You get a better deal. And I just want to play more minutes, Gaffer. I don't want to be sat on the bench.
Maybe you is in talks with Saudi Arabian companies.
The Oilers. The Oiler money.
The oil dollars are going to flow into
the petro
MFL.
Dollars.
Yes. Who knows? Okay, enough speculation here.
That's our weekly update.
That's exactly.
Now we're going to get into our main topic, the second part of the podcast, where we're going to talk about season 0.4 recap. So we're going to analyse our own performances, the season performances, who's done well, who's had a stinker, overall thoughts, what we're looking forward to for next season, the highs and lows, what have we learned and observed from being involved within this season as well. And also, if you're listening, we'd love to know how you felt about season 0.4 as well. So feel free to let us know. And next episode, we can sort of pick up those and talk about those again. So we've got down here, how would you, Calva, and myself, summarize 0.4 in a couple of words? So I'm gonna hold you to 2 words here. A couple of words, 2 words. For yourself.
Words.
2 words. How was your personal 0.4?
Yeah, for myself, it would be. Can you say like it's just not or something? Is it English? It's like just not. Just like it's.
I feel like there should just be an extra word there.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'll give you 3 words. I'll give you 3 words. I'll give you 3 words.
It's just not enough.
Just not enough.
It's just,
okay.
Yeah, like in many aspects, it was just not, or it was. Yeah, a bit like bad luck. I don't know if I would blame it on the bad luck. Let's just call it just not enough, like, or not good enough, or in a couple of different areas. But I'll explain it later. For yourself,
yeah. For myself, personally, between my 2 clubs, obviously I've still got this cup run going on. But I think overall this season for me is, I'm going to use the phrase slightly disappointing. And I'll get onto it more in a bit. Even though I did come 4th in both my leagues, I think it doesn't paint a true picture as to how I felt throughout the season. Because going 4th, you go, right, it's not bad, but there's a bit more. There's more than meets the eye, as I think Optimus Prime said in one of the Transformers movies. So, yeah. Enough about our season, and we'll come back to that. How we felt.
Yes, with season highs and season lows. I think.
Let's congratulate the top dog of the MFL pyramid, and that is Ballers. Ballers have done it.
Ballers, yes.
The new winners. I'm impressed as well. Looking back at the standings now, I think I had Milano, Meta Mercenaries, Ballers. So I've got 2 of that top 3 right, and I've got 1 bang in the position. So I'll take that. That's not bad for myself. But yeah, I want to say massive congratulations to Ballers. That Discord they were in was buzzing. I can't remember the exact phrase. What did Sellers say? He just wants to touch more balls or something. What was his? And he definitely touched more balls this season. I can't remember the exact phrase, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, he did it. Yeah, it's like it worked or something. But yeah, really impressive run. And in general, the Diamond League was really exciting this season, right? It was not like Bayern, Munich, or that kind of. Although that's maybe a bad example right now because Kane plays there. But just in general, it was very exciting. There were so many different people who could have won the title if those last 2-3 match days played out differently.
Yeah, I mean, between 1st and 5th place, we've got 4 points separating them. Yeah, and I think what highlights what you were saying is that I'm pretty sure every week we did this podcast throughout this season, there's been a different team on top. I think maybe this week, obviously, it's ended at Ballers. Last week was Londinium, and we were all saying Londinium were going to win it, and we all fumbled the bag there when we said that. Even Yak said Londinium as well.
Exactly.
The week before, I'm pretty sure it was Dio's Biscioni Milano on 15 points, and they only got 7 points within 2 weeks. And then I'm pretty sure maybe the week before that, it might have been Londinium again, but it may have been a different club at the top. But for at least 3 out of the 4 weeks we've had this season, I think I'd 4, there's been a different team on top, which highlights is evidence for you saying that how entertaining it's been, because we don't really know who's going to win it. And that's proven by the facts. Even as Diamond League experts will call ourselves, we're not. Because we just talk about it each week. Even we didn't know who's going to win it. So,
no, it was very unpredictable. I think the bookies would have had a hard time setting odds for this one, but also for next season. Like if we look already at next season, like you have 5 contenders now, right? And then with all those transfers, also Joe now got this other legendary plus in the chat with his eyes. I don't know if you saw the googly eyes there. He was like, just wait, something.
Oh, okay. He's like, cooking. What's he cooking?
He's cooking something. So it's only getting better, but this season was already great. It was like a proper competition.
And straight away after their league win, Ballers have gone, you know what, we're going to drop $1,600 on a 91 Ranger. So if you ever thought we were just going to take it casual or, you know, not as competitive next season, yeah, screw you all. We're going in hard and we want to make sure we're going to, you know, defend this title for next season and get it in season 0.5.
And we also have a little, I would call it diamond dessert, because 3 diamond teams are in the semi-finals of the Titans Cup. So we have one semi-final is Dio, so Pistone Milano against Ballers, and Meta Mercenaries against the Galactico Gunners. So I think that's Alex's plat team. Yeah. So Ballers can go even for the double there, and Dio and Meta can kind of save maybe their season, or maybe Ronan feels like he can save a season by winning a cup still. So will it be a Ballers double? Will Dio Meta, or maybe a platinum upset with?
It would be
Alex.
Great to see a Ballers versus Meta final, wouldn't it? I think first v second in the Diamond League. You know, like you said, can Ballers get that second cup? Did they win the preseason tourney? Would it be a third?
Ooh, I don't.
Was that last year's preseason tourney? Oh my god, it's not even been that long since season 0.3, and I'm already blurring them together. But you know, first v second currently in the league, if they play each other in the final, could be a bit of redemption. Meta Mercenaries picking up a trophy, you know. But congrats to the Ballers team again.
So we'll be, I'm really looking forward to that final. So it will be something to watch out. So I'm really hoping for next season we'll see similar Diamond League, and as we said many times before, with more teams. Like 8 teams is not enough. It's not a proper.
Yeah, we need a few more teams.
At least 10 or something. 12 is the ideal, but 10 would be great. So Unity, anyone who's listening.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Get your ass in gear. Yeah. But yeah, massive congrats to Ballers. A huge congrats to all of you out there who are listening and have won either a trophy from the leagues or maybe player trophies for the goalkeepers or the highest goal scorers. I'm still yet to get one of them, which is annoying, and I really want one. That's what I wanted to get. I think my aspiration for this season was to get a player trophy, but I've not. So congrats to everyone who's won trophies. Just one, I also did see that I think it's a Kiev team, I think it was, went unbeaten this season completely.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy. And I had a look at his team as well, and it's not like a completely jacked up team in a league. It's actually like a pretty respectable strength-wise. So that's a huge feat to go a season unbeaten through what would have been 18 games for most people, maybe 18 games. Yeah, so huge performance. So congrats to everyone who's won. If not, build back better. We go again, as they say. Next season will be your season.
And as you always say, it's still no promotion relegation, no drama yet. But so it's still like free testing, and also not for the big bucks, the big MFL points. So keep testing, keep having fun, and get ready for when we really get serious. Okay, season highs and lows. What would be your season high and your season low?
My season high. And I'll get on this. I can expand on this later, and sort of it links into what I want to say later about my observations and things about my own performance. But one of my highs was winning a game that I tactically set up for and felt like an absolute Unai Emery masterclass. But this was a bit of a smoking gun. I think that's probably the right phrase to use there, because I set up for it was one of Herta's teams. Right, and his team was far superior in overall, and we know overall's not everything, but his team was just all round better than mine. I knew I was the slight underdog, and I did a little bit of analysis, pre-game scouting, looking over the hedges whilst his team are training before the game, sort of thing. Understand what the plan's going to be, what the tactics going to be for the game, and I put up a lineup and a formation and tactics that I thought would counter that. And it did. I think I beat him 2-1, and I beat him on all stats as well. Possession, shots, corners, everything. And I went, do you know what? This is like the 4th game in. I thought, do you know what? I've figured this. This is brilliant. For this formation I'm playing against, I've figured it. Fast forward to the end of the season, I ain't got a bloody Scooby about team instruction still, which was why I think my season was slightly frustrating, which is sort of the low part, with more just low bit will be my overall observation. I did draw to a fatigue side, and that was quite a low blow for me, because that was basically completely cost me third place. And I put out a slightly weaker side, but it was still all 100%, and I sort of lost it a bit internally. I thought, how have I think I went 1-0 down as well, and I went, oh no. So my high point, tactical masterclass from Jimbo on a 1-game basis. Low point, got snuffed away to a fatigue side, which cost me third place. That's my high and my low. Are yours in a similar boat, or what are your highs and lows?
Well, there's multiple. I think let's talk about the Casablanca Corsairs, because I think it could both be a high and a low. Let's say so. The low is that at one point they were like bottom in gold, and in the end they ended 8th. So still 8th. So it's not what I wanted. But let me talk about the high. That shows that they have potential. Because in the Elites Cup, they won their group with Bianconeri, Josette, and Bosco Athletic in there. So against 3 pretty good Gold League sides, they showed that they can win a group of a double round robin. So I don't know what went on in the league, and I changed things a little bit, and in the end it worked better, but still. So it's a bit disappointing that I ended so like in the league, but they showed strength and that they have potential, and the next season things can be better again. So that gives hope. Maybe other high is that with my 5-3 team, what I keep talking about, right? That I was almost champion. The wingbacks wonders. And exactly, and I kept consistent. I just stuck it from the start. Sometimes I was a bit disappointing, but I just kept the same tactic with the wingbacks, 5-3 the whole season. And we had a final match against number 1. So if I won, I would have been champion. If he won, he was champion. So it was really fun, exciting match. I lost it, unfortunately,
nice.
but it showed they were very competitive, and they almost won their league. So that was another nice thing to see, another high.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad we both had, a good amount of lows as well, and also some highs. If you had to say quickly, did you have more highs than lows?
Ooh, I think a little bit more lows, like in the end.
Same for me as well.
Missing out like 2 second places. That the Corsair, all those round of 16 matches, I lost all of them in all cups.
That's a thing. I'm not sure to laugh or to cry.
It's a bit of a bad luck, a bit of an unlucky season for me in that regard. But we keep moving on, we keep building, and next season we'll be back.
Build back better.
Build back better, exactly. So you already touched a little bit upon this, but regarding the new features, what do you say is like, what did you learn? Did you learn anything about it?
I think I don't really know. I learned that I don't know much about the team instructions still. I think that's what I learned. I learned a few things, such as if I'm the underdog, I'm less likely to put controlled passing in. I just feel like as if you're an underdog, and that's obviously subjective to what you think if you're an underdog or not. I don't want to control possession much, because I think I'm then vulnerable to, if they're playing aggressive or pressing, to then the counter attack, and because we're an inferior team, we might get caught out a bit. But the problem that I found myself in throughout the year or season, should I say, is that I think I went against my own motto, which was, don't change things up. Be consistent. And my problem was that I felt like I was consistent, but I realised afterwards I wasn't being consistent. And what I mean by this is that I found myself far too often trying to set up my team to counter another team, where I just wasn't playing my own game whatsoever. I felt like I was trying to, how can I set my team up to beat my next opponent? And I was focusing so much on that if I lost a game, I was like, well, what do I do from here? Do I just go back to my original one? or do I have to keep changing? And I felt like I should have just kept playing my own game, not changing up, being consistent, and maybe start changing in the team instructions those smaller bits rather than just changing the formation. Because I'd if we're playing against a 4-1-2-1-2, the midfield diamond, I might play a more of a a midfield heavy, for example, to try and counteract that, or players out wide. I'd try and figure out formations to counter other ones, and then use team instructions to how I feel that formation would work. And basically, being like that, I ended up getting nowhere because I was focusing too much on that rather than playing my own game. And I think part of that shows in the sense that with my Wyverns, I sort of just felt like I was not really sure what I was doing. I feel like I didn't learn much from my Wyverns, but I was spending loads of time on them, looking at stuff, even though I came fourth. But then my second club, I didn't spend as much time with them. And for like the first 3-4 games, we were second bottom. And then we just literally just rose up all the way up to the top. We only draw 2 games all season, but we lost 7, but we won 9. So it was either, the Mourinho way of looking at football. If we're 1-0 down, we are not drawing. We're either losing 2-0 or we're going to win. We're not draws. I think Mourinho says, draws are stupid, or draws get you nowhere, basically. So I just basically team instructions, I've still got no idea about them, which I think is perfectly fine because there's other people in the same boat as well, I'm sure about it. And if you're not, then please teach me your ways. But I felt like I focused too much on trying to use team instructions to my advantage rather than I overthought basically a lot of what I was doing with my Wyverns team, and it resulted in me not having results. The outcome was having results and performances that I didn't like and didn't want and wasn't happy with. But then my second team didn't put that much effort into them in terms of that side to it, the tactical side, and ended up being better. And that's sort of a good example of showing, don't muck around with it loads, don't overthink things and change things, because you'll end up, when things go wrong, you've got no clue why they're going wrong, basically.
Yeah, it's hard to analyze also. And also now we get a new engine again. Right?
Yeah, so maybe you have
point.
Some lessons, it can all change. So... It can all change next season, which is, don't get too stuck into it. You might have to relearn everything. You figured out team instructions for this season. Brilliant. They're changing next season.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, that's how I found team instructions this season. I got to know a little bit about them, but overall, how I used them, I don't think was most effective.
Yeah, from my lessons is maybe with the. Not with the sliders, but with the other instructions, right? Where you have like 3 options.
Yeah.
I think what always kind of works is just playing it safe and keep everything balanced in the middle, pretty much. Yeah. That's like, if you do, I think 2 march, maybe 1 or 2 to adjust a bit of your style of play. But if you do too much, I think it doesn't work. And if you just want to play it safe and play like a decent game, you just can keep everything in the middle and it will be kind of okay. So I think I learned that. I think I swapped to that with like the Corsairs and Black Sea at one point, and it did give me better results than having some kind of elaborate tactic with which is a bit more risky maybe and then doesn't work out. So I think that was one lesson, like you can always kind of play it safe in that way. And also the consistency did work in the end. So I think I did stick to your motto with what I said with Corsair Cove.
I'm glad someone did.
With Aaron Calder, and they both ended second and only 4 points from number 1. So the teams where I was, I think, most consistent, they also did the best. So if you see something as all right, it works, maybe don't keep changing it. Let's say if 80% works, maybe don't mess around with that 20 too.
Yeah,
to try to fix it, you can destroy more. But again, new engine. So
yeah, we've got the new shooting mechanics and things like that, right, coming into play. So
yes,
don't try and mess around with things, or try and solve it all, because it will all change. I'm not sure how drastically, but it can change. And one thing I should have done better this season is utilize the 25 player squad size again. I'm usually quite a big advocate for that, and I thought I had 25, but I only had 23, and I would have loved to have had just 1 or 2 extra players with maybe a centre back or maybe a centre, another CDM. I think I would have liked another CDM and another left mid, slightly better left mid. And I think I would have been on it. And what I found interesting was I saw some Discord messages and whatnot throughout the last couple of weeks or days of people saying, I need to have more than 19 players. And I've always had in my head, just even if you don't use them, just have them there in your squad. Just use the most of it up, because you'd rather have the full 25 and not use them than not have them and feel like you need more players. Because this is one thing I'm going to find interesting tomorrow or today, is that in my semi-final, I'm playing against a guy who only has one goalkeeper. Josset Academy has only one goalkeeper,
Really?
which is currently on a fatigue of 46%.
That's crazy.
So and the rest of his team is, like high 80s, high 90s, fairly well rested by a couple of players. I'm really interested. What does a below 50% fatigue goalkeeper look like? Do they just not? Do they not sweep a keeper? Do they not? What does fatigue look like for a goalkeeper? I'm interested
that's
how that
pretty
looks. But
crazy. I mean, you always have some common goalie lying around. From me, with my goalkeeper union, I have like so many spare goalies. You could have easily gotten one for a very
I saw
low
you
ratio.
bought. Did you buy a new one recently?
Yeah, I
You
bought a
another
new one. I mean, 69 rated for $10 18-year-old. Like, that's a bargain.
I saw that. I went, Calvin has sold one. Oh no, he's bought another goalkeeper. To the collection, to the monopoly of goalkeepers. Exactly. You're after the goalkeepers. It's like Bosco's after his Ukrainians.
You know my strategy. I embrace it with my packs before. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, about those. I agree with you. Like, just throw some comments in there, and then you have, especially with the cup, sometimes, or you're qualified already. So then you display all those comments, and your good guys get a rest. Or you're out already and you do the same. Or you play against a super fatigue side and you also chuck in all your comments and you can rest your good guys. So even if you have 19 rares and you play in plat and you don't have enough, just get some comments and you can still play when it doesn't matter what the result is. And you have, let's say, a good rotation. So that's definitely a good tip for most people.
Some other observations then. I've got a question for you.
Yes.
And I think that it's been asked previously by like our guests and things one of the guest questions, not people asking us questions sort of thing, is about how you prioritize leagues and cups. And I want to know, how did this season go for you? Did you prioritize leagues and then have the cups and then it flipped and then you were prioritizing cups for league, or how did that look for you?
No, I just did my full... I kept rotating almost the whole time. So I think my squads are pretty balanced in general. So I don't think there's like a huge difference between A grade and B grade. So I just keep full rotation. And then what I said, sometimes when I have matches against a really fatigue side, or I'm already out of the cup or qualified, then I do the full B team in there.
Yeah.
So I prioritize, of course, the best guys. If they're a little bit tired, I just keep rotating them. So, but yeah, that's maybe also a bit lazy. Like, sometimes you could plan it better, but yeah, I don't have time to really keep with my 6 club look at all the.
Yeah, exactly.
I could imagine with 18 clubs, but keep looking at the schedules and then planning ahead, and I just do this also a bit maybe out of laziness, but also more practical. So as long as when the guy turns a little bit more green, he's out.
Yeah,
less green, I should say, less green.
And it was interesting seeing Lucas in his message in the Discord. I think it was Dane said that, or someone asked a question. The different thresholds of colouring, or bands, you will call it, of fatigue. Someone asked, is 92 to 100 the same sort of performance? And I think Dane maybe put him on the spot and out him a bit here, but he put yes, and then Lucas replied back with actually saying no, that there is a difference, or Yax even said maybe there is a difference between 100 to 99 to 99 to 98. So even though the colour changes, you might go, oh, it's 93's all right, 92 not so much, and that's the threshold, the bracket changing. Actually, each percentage does matter. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm just interested about that goalkeeper tomorrow. 46%.
They will be really interesting.
Just never comes further than the 6-yard box. He just can't make it out.
We have to see that.
Yeah.
Okay. More observations. Maybe I had one. I think it really pays off to have a great striker. So sometimes I face teams which are pretty like in overall they were all like worse players, but then they had like one rare striker in there or like one, and then they really overperformed or outperformed. Even if teams ended fourth or fifth, their strikers really made a difference, and they ended high in the leaderboard there. So I think a good striker can really make a difference.
I agree. I agree with you. At the beginning of the season, I played against my Stone club. Bearing in mind, this is maybe not the best example because it was a legendary striker in a Stone club, so it was going to perform well. But even when this player was fatigued at like 70%, 60%, still knocking 1 or 2 goals past you. So, I mean, I'm just looking at my players, my strikers from last season, because I felt like I needed to up my strikers and improve them. And obviously, we can't really use past season performances to compare because of the engine changes all the time, right? We've got nothing really to compare it about. But just from last season, for example, we'll take... maybe it's not the best example to use, actually, because we played in all the When Dirt Cups and they skew the data slightly. But, for example, in the leagues last season, Perez, one of my strikers, who I can play at striker, he has a higher rating at striker than at winger, and that's why I played him last season. Last season, he played 17 games for me in the league, and he got 15 goals. This season, he played 11 games and got 2 goals. So he was nowhere near this season. Last year, with this other striker, in the league this season, he played 10 games and scored 7. And last year, he played 9 and scored 5. I actually thought that he was actually worse this season. He's actually done all right in the league, it sounds. But I definitely agree with you. If you have like an overrated striker compared to your rest of your team, it benefits massively, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, like I sometimes played against a team and I had like way more expected goals, way more shots on target, and they had like 1 or 2 shots and this crazy striker scored both. Like it can really get you a point, even against a much better team. So I think
I've got a new...
Yeah, it's important.
Go on. No, sorry, I interrupted. Go on.
No, I think I made my point, and I also try now. I also bought a new striker like this week. I think if
really?
You have,
what sort of player? What are we talking?
Well, he's like 75 overall, but then 82 pace, 82 shooting. So I think those are
not bad. Yeah, nice.
That's what matters. That shooting stat also really matters. If you have high shooting, I kind of did a little. Well, I wouldn't say it's a proper research, but really looked at the leaderboards in different leagues, like which guys finish high there. And usually they just have a crazy high shooting, even if the rest is lower. It's shooting is really important. Strikers with high shooting can make a difference. And that's my observation.
100%. I think especially in the lower leagues, it matters loads. Just before we touch on with our plans for 0.5 in coming weeks, I've just thought of a new low point, and it was when I played... I can't remember her name now. I played someone in the cup, I think it was, or in the league, and within half an hour I was 4-0 down after 4 shots on target, and the XG of like 0.5, and I lost my head completely. I went, you've had 4 chances in the first half, and you've scored every single one, and I just went, it's not my day. And I played them in the reverse fixture and beat them 3-1. So I was going, did I just really get, smashed? Was I just unlucky? And I think the XG bit can help you understand if you were lucky or unlucky. That's how I basically view it. If they scored 4 goals in the first half with an XG of 0.5, I was really unlucky and they were really clinical. So don't be too hard on yourself. But
yeah, well, in general, I think you can be unlucky. And what some people post in general, right? Like these stats from real matches. I saw another one from...
Taggart loves posting them in.
Yeah, I saw another one on Twitter. Like someone had 2 shots on target, 2 goals against like 15 shots on target and 2 goals, and it was 2-2. So it can happen in real life too, right? It's that's football.
I mean, I think yesterday in Norwich's game we beat Rotherham 5-0, and I'm just going to quickly draw up the stats because Rotherham are one of the worst teams in the league by a long mark, and I think we held them to 1 shot all game. I think it was. And that's sort of, let's have a look at the XG here. They had an XG of 0.04 in the whole game. They had 2 shots, 0 on target. We had an XG of 1.83 and we scored 5 goals.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bearing in mind, if people want to see some world-class goals, go watch the Norwich v Rotherham highlights. There are 2 absolute screamers in that game, and they are amazing. So if you want to see real talent, not like Man United or, you know, your poor MFL team, go watch Norwich highlights. But yeah, enough of that.
Yes, let's to end with look forward to 0.5, and you said transfer windows opening. It was the 19th, I think. March.
19th when the transfer window opens for contracts. Yeah,
and then I think Lucas will announce soon new dates. So 0.5 coming up. So maybe we can have fully dedicated episodes to it, etc. But let's have what we think right now, like our plans or for the coming weeks, transfer market plans or other plans.
I think my plan is I want to bolster the Wyvern squad in terms of bringing better players, but I don't want to because it doesn't feel right. Because I want to perform better because I want to win. No one wants to lose. I want to win. But I don't want to win by having 115 financial fair play charges against me like Man City are currently doing. I don't want to win like that, right? I don't want to win in those sort of circumstances. So I feel like between now and then, I've just got to rack out a load of friendlies and understand the team instructions a bit more after the new engine updates.
Yeah, exactly.
After the new engine updates, because I don't want to waste time and it will make that time useless. But I will be looking to bolster the squad. I'll be looking maybe to upgrade a few of the second club players into the first team. You know, a little bit of a promotion, signing from what would be like a reserves team to the first team. But I'm sort of just going to keep a close eye on the developments over the next couple of weeks and take it from there. But I'm really looking forward to some small things, maybe in terms of comparison to the engine, but like match ratings. Those things can massively help you understand how a player has been performing, and you can then track historical ratings to see, is this player actually performing well week in, week out, or is it a one-off? That will really help with Dirk next season, right? Yeah. We can say we can say how did we rate Dirk individually this season, and we can go, actually, here's the average of all of his 20 games. That's how he actually officially played, apparently. So yeah, that's how I'm sort of taking the next couple of weeks. Maybe do a bit of friendly testing, team instruction, analysis. Yeah. I'm not going to actively, bearing in mind, I'm not going to actively look in the marketplace. I'm going to actively scout for a bit and see which players are. Maybe have a little, plant the seed into the manager's head. I'm after your player. Can I get in there early? Get transfers done early, people. Or get contract signed and get them done early. You'll benefit massively and you'll thank us loads.
Good tips.
Tips and tops.
Tips and tops. Yeah, exactly.
Tips and tops.
For me, I think also maybe. So I already did 3 big transfers. So I think maybe 1 or 2 more. So my goal is to get my ref share a bit down. So Casablanca and Black Sea, they're around, I think, 28 and 30, something like that. It's a bit too high, so I try to replace some of those guys with my own to get that ref share down. Maybe do some testing, although I want to wait for the engine. So maybe with the new engine coming in. So just try to work on each team a little bit. Like get 1 or 2 new guys in. Yeah. Get some better positions, and let's see. I think transfer market's pretty hot, and I think prices are also gonna go up.
I've already noticed some of the uncommon starting to go up slightly, but the uncommon market, maybe between sort of 70 to 74, has been going up over the last couple of days, really, since this time last week, which is great to see. And even the new users picking up those players as well, right? Because some of those players might be to us, they're slightly higher price than they were 2 weeks ago. But actually, we've still got new users coming in and feeling happy spending that money, which is great as well.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I want to, just say sooner rather than later, pick up 1 or 2 more guys who can really add something or get rid of some of that ref share to get the ref share down. So
make yourself a bookmark folder, and then when the transfer window opens, you go and sign. You go to those players' profiles that you bookmarked and favorited, and you go ham with that transfer and that contract offer. I have one from Wenson from the Wyvern season 0.1, and I've got 2, I think, of those players in my squad now out of this 9. One of them is an inactive player, and it's a banger of a player as well. When I did my initial analysis, but yeah, top tip for the transfer stuff and contracts: get it done early. No one wants to be, early bird catches the worm, as they say. So get it done early.
Hey, that is a good hashtag.
Hashtag get it done early.
No, hashtag catch the worm.
Hashtag catch the worm. Okay, hashtag catch the worm.
That's a good end for us. So hashtag, we have the hashtag, and now we got the hashtag.
For all you listeners, I saw that Dio today, even 6 days after we posted it, put hashtag call Antoine. So for all of you who get this far, hashtag catch the worm, was it?
Yeah,
hashtag catch the worm. Calva, thank you for our little episode today. Love having another chat with you as always.
That was great.
Awesome stuff. And thank you all for getting this far and listening. As always, if you haven't followed, liked, shared, all this sort of stuff, please go and do so. It's massive. The numbers recently have been really, really good. And, all the support on social media and in Discord has been absolutely amazing to us. We really, really appreciate it. If you want to be a guest, let us know or tell us who you want us to bring on, and we can do that bit. If you're going to be around on Tuesday, tomorrow, tune into our live stream. If not, good luck to all of those in the semi-finals and the finals and the third place matches. And we'll see you this time next week for episode 29 of the Wender Cast. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.